I don't know where we so just got disconnected. There, he's coming back in. We're
Out.
live, pal.
Hey, yo, 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 what it do? What it do? It's me, it's that wrestling dude. And I'm joined here with the fire is fire crotch you ever lay eyes on. No Ginger Spice. What's up, bro?
How am I even supposed to respond to that, dude? Hey guys, it's the embodiment of Technicolor, Ginger Space, and today's guest is so hardcore that that's simply his name, Hard Fucking Core. So let it go,
Oh,
man. Tell us who you. What's up, Hardcore?
hello, hello.
What's
Good to
going
finally be here,
on?
friends. Hello, how's everyone tonight? You guys doing good?
Good, 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 man. Pleasure to
Excellent.
have you on.
You're going great. It's a beautiful fall day in Buffalo tonight.
All right. So
Ooh, it's probably
let's hop.
chilly, huh?
It probably is. Let's hop right into it. Who trained you? How long you been in the biz, man? Where you based out of?
Oh man, well, I've always been based out of New York. I've been trained by Ground Zero in Buffalo. A bunch of names throughout the years. I've been off and on for about 20 years. Just getting a death match the past like 3. So we're really just putting the grind in right now and getting the death match going. Just was down in Houston. Just took on North Korean Assassin for Loco down there. That's a crazy bastard.
Yeah.
That man was set on fire, and then a month later was in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, no time at all. He's just crazy. Exactly like you said.
Flabbergasted, honestly. Like I was there when he was set on fire, so to be able to see him come back
Wow.
out, and yeah, it was a crazy little bit of balance to see the outcome and then see where how far he's come. Just wow.
So that's a show of a tremendous amount of respect that he has for you too, right? To say like I'm coming back, my skin is barely connected, but I need to do this match, and
Yeah,
he chose to
he
do it with you.
legitimately lizard skin. Um, so the fact I even got to be in the ring with him was super super cool, especially in Houston. That was I believe that was both of our first times in a local ring, so that was very cool. Also to get to do that with him, just craziness all around. That was a crazy night, crazy weekend. Excuse me, crazy weekend.
What
But
else
I'll
went on?
say
What
that. Go ahead, Luisa.
what else went on that weekend then?
Oh man, they had so the first night was Loco presents Terry, and it was mostly a deathmatch show, and then the second night was man, the name of the event escapes me, but it was more of a lucha straight wrestling show. So that was a cool double feature weekend. I got to enjoy the second night of the show, which was really cool. I mean, I
That
enjoyed the
was in that was like August 21st or something like that. So since then, that was like an easy night for you, bro. Because since then, you have done some crazy, insane shit that
I
just makes my jaw drop every time. I'm like, why? But God bless you, man. Thank you for putting your life and your health and
we're trying.
safety on the line, man, for our entertainment.
Yeah, what was
Because
it?
whew, that is something. And once you go deathmatch, it's hard to watch anything else. Everything else is boring.
I feel like in terms of like violence, death matches up here for wrestling, and then like it's very hard for me to watch like wrestling that's on TV now because I feel like that's like what I mean. AAW has that like little bit of dabble here and there, but it's like even then it's just like oh this close, you know what I mean? Uh, it's like I don't know, just almost there, but not quite.
So you said you've been wrestling for what on and off for 20 years, but only death match the last 3 years. Why death match?
Best drug I ever did, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you just said it. You know what I mean? Like there's no real feeling like it, even experiencing it, let alone doing it. Once you get cracked with a light tube for the first time, and it's weird for me to say, but like spooky dust actually tastes like powdered sugar to me now. So like when it happens, like okay, here we go.
Like you know how you were saying that the being cracked by the light bulb. When I heard it for the first time, I was like, "Oh, that's why people love it."
Oh
You
yeah,
know, and I
it's
mean that pop is so satisfying.
yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
that's why. You know, that's part of it.
there's nothing like it whatsoever. Like it is a pain level like nothing else, but at the same time, it's once you reach that level, it's just like, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can survive a bullet at this point now. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
if
pretty sure
someone,
you could too.
I might have to laugh at them because what are they gonna do? Stab me? I get paid to get stabbed like every weekend at this point. You know what I'm saying? So like it really I feel like it makes you level up in all aspects of your life. Like I walk around places like I don't really worry. Like people are like, oh, you're wrestling there. That's a bad neighborhood. It's like, so what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna
Yeah.
come up to me and be like, "Hey, give me your wallets." Be like, first of all, I don't have any money. Second of all, good luck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did you get into the deathmatch on purpose, or was it like you accidental fall into?
Oh no, it was 100% on purpose. I've always wanted to. I've been a deathmatch fan since I was a kid. I grew up loving Cactus Jack in Japan and like Terry Funk and ECW. That barbed wire match with Sabu and Terry Funk really changed my aspect of many things in wrestling. And then you fall into that rabbit hole even when you're a kid, because back then it was just like YouTube clips and like tape
Yeah.
trade like that when I was a kid, because I'm old as fuck.
Yeah.
And Stranglemania, even, you know what I mean? Like, I was never even a big ICP guy, but I got my hands on Stranglemania. I was like, oh shit. Like, clearly the commentary is not on point, but like
Yeah.
that violence was all there, you know?
This guy says ITP, and I shuddered, man. I watched that thing the other day, Channel
Woo,
5 News
woo.
or something, at the Juggalo convention, and they were nailing this guy's nuts to a piece of wood.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, God bless that guy for entertaining me like that. But woo, man,
Down to AJ runs POR Wrestling down in Virginia. I go down there a lot for him now. That's why I just fought
who's
Mickey.
that? You know who that is?
Oh yeah, that's JJ Escobar. Yeah, he's crazy. He was just in Tournament of Death yesterday for CZW.
Shout out
Yeah.
to
He wears the white.
JJ Escobar, man, the craziest guy I've ever seen on the internet.
He's been on Ridiculousness. He's been all over the place. He does crazy things. Like, yeah, he
Obviously.
got nailed to a 2x4. Yep, that was legitimate. Like, did it look cool? I was like, dude, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen anyone do ever. Like, did it look cool? It doesn't matter if it looks cool at this point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's a crazy bastard.
Salud, JJ. Salud.
Yeah, he just fought Mickey Knuckles yesterday at the Tournament of Death for CZW, and from what I saw,
I saw that. That's the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I saw him, I think, on Instagram or something like that. You know what I mean? But I had no idea that's the same dude.
Yeah.
That woman is insane too. Shout out to her.
That's Mickey Knuckles. I fought her a month ago.
I was gonna talk about that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
with the chainsaw, she almost hung you and everything, dude. You were like, oh,
yeah,
that was wild, dude. It's so crazy the shit you do, man.
I bled that much in my entire life. The day before, I fought Low Life Louie, and he's a Hall of Famer, and I bled buckets that day. And then I drove down to Virginia and bled twice as much. And it was, I mean, man, that was crazy. I had a black eye for like 2 weeks. I was destroyed. It was fantastic.
So you don't. This might be a trade secret or something like that, but I've seen in on old school documentaries about wrestlers, they would say they would take like Advil or anything, something like that, some type of blood thinner to so they would bleed more. You know what I mean? So do you do anything like that?
Some people do certain stuff like that. I mean, I don't really see much of a difference in anything. Like, you're gonna bleed, you're gonna bleed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like some of it is a lot of like old wives' tale stuff. You know what I mean? Like, here, take this herb and you'll be good. It'd be like, you're just gonna bleed. Like, I didn't.
We do take this herb and we are good.
Yeah. Like, when I fought Mickey Knuckles, there was no Tylenol. There was no nothing. Like, that was all like, she put a Kenzon in my head, and then she put she did a gusset first, and then a Kenzon in my head, and I was oozing blood. Like, the ref was like, do you want me to stop it? I was like, you better not stop this, man. it was nuts.
They like slammed this like, was it like a weed grinder top into your head?
So that is called a Kenzon. Kenzons were made in Japan, and they're solid steel with solid steel spikes in them. And what they were made for is you take flowers and you put them stem down, and it holds like a bouquet of flowers together so you can make it pretty. You know what I mean? To put it together. Someone in Japan for a death match saw that one day and was like, hey. And that's how Kenzons get into people's heads. And they're absolutely disgusting. Usually you need players to get them out. I was able to pull it out by my hand in the match, and it made a sound. I'm sure you've all probably sliced lettuce before, like in cooking. Yeah. It sounded like that coming out of my head. Like a suction cup made out of wet lettuce. That's the only way to describe it.
You got lucky there, because I've seen them where they go to pull out and you see the scalp come like it's like an inch off of their skull is getting pulled and it won't come apart.
Why Matt Tremont has that bump on his forehead like that. It was I think it was a Kenzan, something like that. It just like literally like lifted his skin off of his skull. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got real lucky because it was definitely right here. Sorry, let me go this way. Right here. So I'm pretty good.
Popped right on off.
Oh yeah, seriously. I'm amazed I was able to pull it out. But once I pulled it out, it was literally like I felt just so much blood down my face. There's a picture of it in my the Kenzan still in my head, and you see just my eyes are caked in blood, so it looks like my actual eyeballs are black. I look like it's insane. It was a crazy like rainy day, so we were like delayed by an hour or two, and then it was just everyone went crazy hard, and it was something. It was something. My bones hurt the next day, that's for sure.
I bet.
Yeah, that was a good doubleheader weekend. It's definitely probably one of my favorite weekends I've ever had in wrestling, which was crazy to say because
20 years.
I mean, I'm old, man. I'm about to turn 40 next week. Like this, I'm having the time of my life right now. Like I'm just riding this
We're
way.
all around the same age group here.
Exactly.
I'm 38. He's 39.
Yep. I'm going to Portland in a week and a half. We're doing the first deathmatch show in Portland, Oregon, which is pretty cool. A lot of cool names on that. Shane Mercer and John Wade Murdoch and Reed Bentley and the Kirks and me, and I'm in a steel cage match that's wrapped in barbed wire.
So that's you and Eric Dillinger, right, for Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
So what's so outside? So the cage is covered in barbed wire. That's what separates it from a regular cage.
Yeah, I believe the entire top is going to be like covered in barbed wire, so it's going to have a top on it, but in barbed wire. It's my first steel cage match, which is going to be dope. It's going to be a hell of a birthday celebration. I'm very excited for that to be.
Your birthday's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, next week. I won't get in days, but it's somewhere.
Happy birthday, man! Happy birthday, bro. So,
I'm glad I was finally able to get on here. Life has been crazy.
I bet, man.
Lady Nostromo.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah, so I follow her, and she's so cool. And yo, I don't think I've ever seen anybody that's a bigger Alien fan in my life. And I'm a huge Alien fan, but she's legit.
She got a full leg that's covered in alien tattoos.
Yeah. Like deep tracks too, you know what I mean?
She's die hard. It's fantastic. We just went and saw the new Alien movie in 4DX, which was the first time I ever saw anything in 4DX, and it was the coolest experience I've ever had watching a movie ever. I think she's seen it like 4 times now, which is amazing.
Yeah,
that's
cool, man.
Love it. I oddly enough, I always grew up more of a Predator fan, so it was always like a thing. But I'm becoming more of an Alien fan. That last one swayed me a lot. You know what I mean? It had a lot of, I'm very much a blood and guts kind of guy, if you didn't know. So I tend to also have that in my like music and movies. You know what I mean?
So let's get back to the blood and guts real quick. I have those when they stick to sticks. Are those just kebabs like you would use for
100% regular skewers? Half the time they open them right before the match starts and take it right out of the package. There's nothing done to them whatsoever. They happen to go into someone's face really well. Masada actually is the one who said that the artist who does a lot of shirt designs, Seo Ozawa from Japan, he actually is the originator of using skewers. They were at a comedy show, I guess, he said, and Ozawa was joking around and said, "Look what I did," and put one in his head, and that's how it all started.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so apparently that's the history of skewers. Don't quote me on that. It could be just hearsay through, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that was a Masada story.
Damn. So imagine him just fucking around with it and discovered it on his own the first time.
Yeah, like I love how things just kind of happen that way in wrestling like that. It's just one random like encounter in Japan. Show, and then the rest is history. You know what I mean? It's like a staple in deathmatch now.
Yeah.
Have you only wrestled in the States?
For now, yes. I'm actually making my Canadian debut at the end of October. I'm in a tag match with other Total Fucking Chaos members. I want to say in Ontario. I'm the absolute worst.
Yeah, it's in Ontario.
I'm glad that you know everything
because Frantic Pro Wrestling is Trigger Blood.
It's my brain can't remember.
Tag team for the tag team championship, right?
Yeah, making my debut.
Yeah.
I love that, Weasel. That's why you're the brains of the operation.
What do
man.
you expect out of those Canadian fans? I mean, they gonna be just as bloodthirsty as us American fans, or
I think so. It's I don't think it's deathmatch rules for the tag match, but I think it's probably hardcore rules. Which I mean, it is my name, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Right there.
it'll be interesting to say the least. Will's gonna come up with me, and we're teaming up with one of our new members, Maria, which is gonna be cool. I haven't met them yet, so it'll be cool to actually get some stuff going. I like mixing it up with other Total Fucking Chaos members. They've been doing it across the country this year, so it's nice when everyone finally gets to meet each other because we're pretty spread out. We got Canada and Texas and California and New York and Pittsburgh, Detroit.
That's cool. So
Yeah.
you guys like
So
a
you haven't
Bullet
wrestled
Club
down
of
here
Death
yet?
Cut?
What's that, man?
You haven't wrestled down in Florida yet?
No, haven't been down to Florida in years myself, even just visiting. I thought No Peace was going to start up again, which would have been cool. I really wanted to wrestle for No Peace at some point, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. I guess
saw that Dr. Redacted was coming down here soon.
Oh, probably. Redacted's everywhere.
Yeah.
That man's a maniac, and he's literally everywhere that I am even just enjoying a wrestling show. He's there. He's on every show ever. So he's a maniac. I've been in the ring with him once before. It was crazy.
Well, you were up in Philly last week? I had a question. It was a fans bring anything match, right?
It sure was.
What was the most random thing someone brought?
Oh, the chancla of death. Someone took
Oh,
a flip flop and covered it in thumbtacks, and the dude I fought literally hit me in the back with it, and it didn't. It was in my back for I'd say about 75% of the match. Just
Hay un montón de Boricua, there's a whole lot of Puerto Ricans in Philly, dude.
it's actually funny too because I had no idea they were bringing it. I literally joke about a death chancla all the time. Like I'm not Spanish myself, but I grew up with a Spanish uncle, and that was just always the thing. You know what I mean? Like the chancla, like the most feared weapon in the world. So
your uncle was Puerto Rican, you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, we accept you into the tribe,
There
brother.
you go.
We're always gonna put you over. Whenever you need anything, you just hit us up. We'll put your information everywhere, man, because you're part of us, man.
That's right. The Puerto Rican delegates take hardcore on.
Totally.
I'm mad about this. Yeah, that was always the thing growing up. So I had no idea. Someone just when they were putting weapons out, and I walked out, I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he grabbed it in the match. I was like, "Yes, it's gonna happen."
So a chancla with thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks.
Yeah, they cover
that makes I see that in a tattoo, and I'm thinking that could be a good little filler piece.
Dope as hell. I gave up on getting tattoos because now I just get scarves. It kind of defeats.
I can see that.
I was sad, you know what I mean? Spending hundreds of dollars.
Waste of money, yeah.
Yeah.
All my best tattoos have
But
scarves.
this is for you, hardcore, for all everything you do to put your life on the line for our entertainment.
Cheers. I enjoyed it a little before I hopped on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who'd you break in as? Did you have an embarrassing first name like everyone did?
No, it's always been hardcore.
Really? Since day one?
Yeah, it's even when I was in a backyard fed, it's always been hardcore. I was always in hardcore music and stuff like that, so it kind of carried over, and I never felt the need to change it. It kind of fit, you know what I mean? It just went
so badass.
It went well.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't even outside of wrestling. This is you know what I mean? I go to hardcore shows. I go, watch crazy movies. I, go to death match shows and just hang out in the crowd and fall asleep. It's
this isn't hardcore enough for me. I'm going to sleep.
I'm very much a sleepy boy, and usually if I'm going to a show, it's because I just did a show and it was close by, so I'm already exhausted. But yeah, I'm just a sleepy boy, especially after matches. I tend to fall asleep pretty quickly. Takes a lot.
You're about to be 40, bro. We all get tired.
Fall asleep.
I was in capoeira class today, and I just came in this morning from Puerto Rico, and I went to
Man, I don't know how you have that energy right now. That's dope as hell, though. I love that. I love that. And it reminds me of Tekken, Eddie Gordo.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the craziest shit you've done in the match?
Oh, I mean, I'd like to think I've probably taken some of the most insane stuff ever. I've taken razor blade bats more than one time. I've taken bats covered in scissors more than once in a match.
I saw somebody do that with a foam, and why? Okay, you don't have to
That-
answer this, okay? But are the blades blunted or are they just okay?
not
Oh
for.
God.
I'm sure maybe other people have done it before, but I've never gimmicked anything I've ever used. I always, if I'm in a match and you see something crazy, it's because I made it. Because I, first and foremost, I love making weapons. Even before, you know what I mean. I got in a death match myself. It's just, it's like arts and crafts for, you know what I mean, like crazy people.
Arts and crafts for crazy people.
It's true. There's no way around it. Like I literally sit here, like, and I come up with like the most insane thing I can come up with because of the reaction you just had. You're just like, why? Because I'll walk into a show, you know what I mean? I'll be carrying the stuff I already made for my own match, and like the booker man will just be like, "What are you doing?" It's like I'm about to put on a show for you. That's what I'm doing. Like, because I know I can take it. That's the thing. Like, I have this weird. I mean, I'm sure everyone does in deathmatch, but you have to have a crazy pain threshold. You have to. Like, there's no way around it whatsoever. You either absolutely hate it or you absolutely love it. I absolutely fucking love it. Like, I love every second of it. It doesn't register the way pain should register, and that's the only way I can say. I don't know if I have like nerve damage or if I was just like destined to do this one thing. You know what I mean? But like something clearly is happening, and it's working to my advantage. So I'm just riding this wave until I'm like 50 and I can't move anymore.
So, but like already in wrestling, you have to trust your partner in regular, you know what I mean? The catch you do this and whatever. And this is a
Yep.
totally different ball game of trust, you know what I mean? Between fluids exchanged, serious injury. I mean, David Arquette, everyone knows about that story, you know what I mean? Yeah, he was, not as well trained and everything, but still, that level of trust is a totally different game.
Yeah, 100%. I've had maybe a handful of death matches with people who it was their first death match, and the first thing I always tell people is, first and foremost, if you get freaked out at the sight of your own blood, this is not what you want to do. Like, you have to be able to breathe through that and not spaz the fuck out, because just like David Arquette, you know what I mean? Like, he literally, obviously it was on his neck, and that's, something that's probably not the best of things, but you see your own blood, you cannot freak out. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. If you're in a death match, it's going to happen. You're going to bleed your own blood. You know what I mean? And then you're going to see someone else bleed. So you're probably going to be, riding two crazy different highs. And that's always the first thing I always tell someone. It's like, you got to be able to just, once you can get past that, you can usually move on through the entire match. You know what I mean? Like, step by step. But you got to learn not to spaz the hell out and lose your mind, because that's how people get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people just, much like myself, you know what I mean? I feel like some people are just born into it, you know what I mean? You grow up a certain way, and it's like, well, shit, this is the natural progression of what I need to be doing. And then I did it, and I was like, oh, I was right. All right, let's go. And,
Yeah.
now I'm, traveling.
The ring is Genghis Khan ran over a whole bunch of people, you know what I mean? Because some people are fucking insane, and some of us just live on islands and get taken over by Spaniards.
Yeah. We'll go that route, sure.
No, but think about it. Like, if they drop nukes right now, you're going to survive Fallout way before I do, man. I'm ready to die. Just let me go. But you're ready to, like, Mad Max this.
Mad Max it.
You mentioned that. So my girlfriend and I are both diehard, like, horror fans, right? So clearly we've had, like, the zombie apocalypse discussion. And I'd like to think that within, certain parameters, I could probably be able to put together 3 items and make, like, a weapon. And, be able to at least, survive at least a week or two on at least survival instincts or something like that. So it's definitely been discussed, and I'd like to think I'd stand at least a little bit of a chance. I don't know, because I'd probably make too much noise, because But besides that, I'd like to think I at least have a shot against maybe the zombies, not other humans.
Yeah, you're making your own weapons over there. Me, once I'm out of bullets, I'm fucked. I got a machete, but still, you know what I mean? I'm just over it.
I've never fired a gun, so who the hell knows? That might put me
in New York. A New Yorker from Buffalo, you never fired a weapon.
I'm honestly, guns freak me the hell out. Like, I feel like that's, for me personally, I don't want to hold a gun because I feel like that'd be too much power in my hands. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
You gotta
Yeah,
respect
totally.
that for sure. Absolutely.
I always had the feeling like if let's say if we had like target practice, I would be maybe naturally good at it, and I don't want to be naturally good at shooting a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had to rely on anything like that, anyways. Like I've never actually had to fight anybody in my life. I've always been able to talk circles around people, so that's always all back. Like I'm not throwing punches ever. That's not my style outside the ring. I'm a big mushy animal lover who sits on the couch and watches movies and smokes weed all day.
There you go.
All about balance.
That's what I look like, but I was stationed up there at Fort Drum.
Oh, word.
Yeah, for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's a lot
So
colder up here. Not right now, actually. It's been like 75, 80 for the past like 3 weeks. We
yeah, but it'll start snowing next
Yeah,
month.
enjoy
oh
while
yeah,
you can.
feet of snow and like 400 dead people pretty soon. Don't worry.
Yeah.
When I moved up here, it was the October, September, something like that before that crazy like 7-foot snowstorm we had up here. And
Uh-huh.
happened to go grocery shopping like a few days before we got snowed in, and then literally like they were finding like frozen corpses on the sidewalk and stuff.
That's crazy.
My kid's aunt, that happened to them.
That's
My
absolutely
mother
nuts.
passed away and she got frozen outside. Long
What?
story
That's
short.
crazy.
It was
Yeah,
so
it's
weird.
cold, man. Up in, especially in Watertown.
And
Huh?
we were outside, and it was like snowing sideways, and it was just such a contrast because we were like inside and warm, and then outside was like hell.
It's like a shock, and then you can't breathe and everything like that, especially if you don't have something to cover your mouth and stuff. And I did that cold weather training. It ain't easy. It's
Damn.
a different world up there. People from militaries from all over the world send their soldiers to that area to train in cold weather. It's that shitty.
Oh, thank you. I've born in New York State, and I never got used to the cold. Like I was never that kid who was outside like going sledding and like
But
snowballs.
you're not from Buffalo.
No, but I'm from down by Albany,
Okay.
so it's
My sister went to
It
college
still gets
there.
cold there for sure.
Yeah, it definitely still gets cold
Yeah,
there. But
yeah, yeah.
Buffalo's been making records lately with snow.
It's been crazy up here lately. Last winter though wasn't too bad, so hopefully this. And I know it's because of global warming and this and that, but I'm loving this warmth right now. Like it was like 85 today, and it like rained a little bit, but it was kind of nice, and you know what I mean. Like it wasn't too crazy. That's how it's been. Like I went to the beach last week. Like that's pretty nuts for September. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking scorcher here, man. 100 plus every day.
When I was down, when I left Buffalo the day before I came down for Loco, it was 50 degrees, and when I landed, it was 115.
Must feel
Oh my
getting off that
god,
plane.
bro! It is the worst heat I've ever experienced down there.
That was crazy.
It was like putting your mouth on a fucking blow dryer. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, it was so fucking hot, and I was like, why? It was so terrible.
Yeah, there was nothing. Luckily, I had a nice AC bedroom to sleep in, so I was okay.
Yeah, but that's almost like a shock to your system coming from a Buffalo to there.
Oh, for sure.
Back home, I got so deathly sick. Like I
Mhm.
was down for the count for so many days in a row, and I it's very rare for me to get sick, and I was just like, what the hell? I felt like I got hit by a truck. It was nuts. Going from hot to cold always gets me like that, though. I'm the cold is my weakness forever. It always will be. I thrive in the sun. I soak up the sun. I got that year-round tan most of the time. So
Look at you. So, people that haven't seen a hardcore match, what do you think? What's a match or two they should check out? Like, what's your best shit? You think?
Oh damn! Honestly, lately I feel like I've been putting out some pretty decent ones. My match versus Anthrax, for X Brand was pretty solid. I think versus Low Life Louie. I think my match with North Korean Assassin for Loco was pretty on point. Man, there were some good ones. I had a good one with Officer Roman down in POR. That was a fun one. I mean, I feel like also the ones that are pretty upcoming are going to be pretty fun too. I have a rematch with Mickey Knuckles coming up in October 18th in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
I'd love to get her on here. She seems so fucking crazy and cool, but I love the intergender matches that happens. You know,
so when I fought her, that was actually my first time fighting a woman in a death match, and I've never gotten my ass beaten so hard. The ever living out of me.
That's a hardcore woman. I'd love to get her on here. Shout out to get her on here. You know what I mean? See if you can put out the good word for us.
She has stories forever. She started 25 years ago, CZW, and she was IWA Mid-South, and she's won every major deathmatch championship tournament. I think at this point. Don't quote me on that. She might be missing one, which I don't know. But she's, obviously they literally call her the auntie for a reason. Like, she's been around forever. She's outside the ring. She's one of the coolest people in the entire world. Inside the ring, she's a vicious monster. Except be for deathmatch, nice softy outside the ring, and then inside you have to be a ruthless killer.
Yeah. Did she give you like a speech beforehand? Like, don't be a bitch. You can, lay it in if you want to. Because I know there's got to be some people at first like a little reserved, like I don't want to hit her too hard.
Yeah.
When I fought Louis, he's like hit me. I was like, I can't do that, but I'll do my best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very intimidating to be first of all, being in a ring with people that you watched. You know what I mean? Outside the ring, growing up. I mean, I'm just about the same age as all these people have been doing deathmatch forever, but I would watch them. You know what I mean? On tape and on the internet and stuff like that. So getting to stand across from them and then having to actually, commit violence against them is your brain wants to fight every urge to do it, but you still have to, otherwise you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's literally like you have to fight every instinct of fight or flight because you just want to be like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan, and you're marking out internally and then externally, you're poking me in the eyes.
I like that. I like you explaining that because I always kind of think that, like, behind the ring, like sometimes you guys can be friends. I'm not trying to break kayfabe here or whatever.
Yeah,
to call
no,
it,
listen,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
people, I know that sometimes you might really hate someone. If you
Yes.
really hate someone behind the ring, would you work with them?
It really depends on the situation. If they can be professional about it, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I'm there to do a job. I'm not there to, obviously I'm there also to make friends because I love everyone in the wrestling community. Like, I love making friends. I love seeing friends at all my shows. But if they're willing to, you know what I mean, just do the job, you know what I mean, and work and put on a good match, 1000%. Are you guys familiar with like the ongoing situation with Chando? Jimmy Chando. I'm actually fighting him October 11th in a no rope barbed wire. This is the rematch. I beat him once already, but he ran his mouth about me for a solid year on Facebook, and that led to a very cool feud that came out of it. But like, him running his mouth was, you know what I mean, 1000% him running his mouth.
Yeah.
And I was approached, and they were like, "Hey, would you work with him?" I was like, "100%, yeah. That's good wrestling right there." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There's money to be made.
think of
You can still
like,
trust someone if there's money to be made.
yes, Matt Hardy and Edge. You know what I mean? Like, they had
Yeah.
legitimate beef. Like, that's
Yeah, but they're also not stabbing each other. Yeah, they could break each other's neck, okay? Yeah, I give you all of that. They did all the types of crazy shit. They could totally have killed each other in a different way.
yeah,
Like, sharp items, you know what I mean?
yeah. But I mean, as long as you're willing to, that's I'm not like I said, I hate fighting. I hate confrontation in real life. Like, I'm literally like, it hurts my stomach to watch people actually fist fight in real life. So if I can avoid confrontation at all costs, I totally will. I'm much more of a talker than I am like a punch thrower. So yeah, if you're willing to, you know what I mean, like, we can even, you know what I mean, yell at each other after the match. You know what I'm saying? But like, once you're in the ring, like, let's be golden. That's all I really need. Like, I don't know. There's
Everybody wants to go home.
you already have to have a
Yeah.
lot of trust going into it, no matter who you're in the ring with, whether you just met them 20
Yeah.
minutes, whether you've known them for 5 years. You know what I mean? Friends who get in the ring tend to go a little harder because they trust each other more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people who have hit me with like the most insane things I've been hit with, you know what I mean, scissor bats and razor blade bats and stuff like that. Like, those are people like I know and trust. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just handing over like an instrument of death to this guy I just met an hour ago in hopes that he's gonna hit me in the correct spot. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a thought process to it, but I also at the same time at the end of the day just want to do like some sick fuck shit.
Sick
It's
fuck
really simple.
shit. Sick fucking shit.
I know I can handle 99.9% of the things in a match. Like, so that's not really my, you know what I mean? I enjoy being able to trust people though in the ring. That's very cool. Like, I haven't injured anyone ever. I've never gotten injured in the ring. Like, you know what I mean? Things happen, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, there's been a broken rib here and there, you know what I mean?
Wait, you just said you never got injured in the ring?
Not
I feel
like
like every time you get in the ring, you're getting smashed by something. What's been your worst injury? You said you've been doing this on 20 years, on and off.
I mean, honestly, nothing crazy. Like I've broken ribs here and there, but like I'm able to walk away from all of my matches. Like I'm not going to the hospital. I don't get stitches.
Damn.
Here's the thing. When you go to the hospital and they see stuff like this, they tend to question your mental capacity. And they want to do that
Yeah.
voluntary. You're gonna stay here for 3 days thing, and I'm not about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I know exactly what I did looked insane, but when I leave that ring, I'm golden. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like "Rah, I just did it. No, literally, I'm sitting there smoking a blunt, like chilling out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a very cathartic thing. You know what I mean? Like you just let out all the demons in 10 minutes. Like, but I don't. Usually after like 2 or 3 days, I'm pretty golden when it comes to like wounds and stuff like that. Like I'll only use antibacterial soap like from head to toe for 3 solid days after a match. Like I still have giant gaping wounds on my back from Low Life Louie. So what was that? Maybe almost a month ago, and they just kind of carried over through all the matches. I'm just now like healing up fully up until like next weekend when I start back up again.
Yeah.
But honestly, just like I've had some wounds that have bled for a couple of days, but nothing, you know what I mean? Like battle scars here and there and like some aches and pains, but like I don't think I've ever been like fully concussed. I've been definitely like rattled and like foggy and stuff like that, but knock on wood, I bounce back pretty quickly. And that's really my saving grace in this, and that's really do all the crazy
Knocking
shit.
on wood for you over here, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm also very lucky. My lovely girlfriend is amazing at applying butterflies and bandages. So like the ones I can't see on my back, she handles very well. She will literally like when I'm taking a shower, come in and like rub the antibacterial soap on my back wounds and make sure she gets into like the crevices of my scars and everything like that because it's becoming a thing at this point. Like I'm gonna get to the point where in like 5 years, I'm either gonna need like one of those long back scrubbers for myself, or have her be like, "Hey, it's time." Like, she already does that now. Like if I'm taking a shower, she'd be like, "You need me to get your back?" I'm like, "No, I can reach this one." And it's just like, literally like a vagina on my shoulder.
Nice and burning.
Yeah.
Is there anything you won't do?
So everything that I've done up until this point was at one point something I wouldn't do. The only thing at this point right now that I haven't done that I said I would never do is barefoot. But even now, it's like, let's say I'm standing across from you, right? And you take off your boots and you're like, what are you going to do, motherfucker? Am I not going to take off my boots? You know what I mean? I'm hardcore. I'm going to be like, nope, that's my limit. I'm done. Like, I can't do that. So it really, if the opportunity arises, there's probably nothing. Like when I fought Pondo, like I was fully ready to take a pencil board, and he was like, "You're not doing that." So I didn't do that because I
A
respect.
pencil board.
Yeah, it was literally a board covered in sharpened pencils.
Uh,
But Pondo
number
literally,
twos.
probably he's taken that once before, and he said he still has like shards of pencil in his back, so he's very
The
anti.
lead.
Yeah, so I wasn't worried about it, but he shut that down. But there's really like I have a spool of razor wire in the basement right now, just waiting to be used. I have pigeon spikes hanging on my wall right now. Like I have a basement filled with every variety of light tube you
Show
could
me
possibly.
some tools, man. Show me some tools of the trade. You got anything available right now to show us that we can
That's all.
reach?
Let me see. I can take you on a mini tour. Hold on. See if I can turn the light on. These were gifts from my friends in California when I did Mania 2 years ago. But this is a guitar strap with pigeon spikes on it,
That's cool.
Oh God.
and then it has a matching one with gusset plates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Has my blood on.
Oh.
This is my little nook of just random ass wrestling stuff. I got some decent figures. Shards of glass from matches that I've been in. Literally shards of glass and pieces of barbell. Bloody dollar bills stapled to my head.
Real quick, you said a bunch of figures. Who was your favorite growing up?
Oh, figure wise? Oh man.
No, wrestler wise. When you
So I was
look at, you know?
I was always a big Macho Man guy growing up, actually.
Macho Man.
Yeah. I always thought he was just he had that edge to him that Hogan didn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Warrior was always crazy, so I was a Warrior fan. But then, sorry, 1 second, guys. When ECW came around, that was when I really like dove into Cactus Jack, and then that kind of peeled over to Attitude Era with Mankind, and then Stone Cold, and it all. I mean, I usually had like a top 5 that I would rotate. I was always like, there was at one point I think it was a Survivor Series. It was like Austin, Shamrock, Legion of Doom, and then I want to say it was like Cactus Jack and Owen Hart or something like that. But it was like that group of dudes at that one point in time was like my
Mick
go-to.
Foley, man, it's my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, God all day. Like
I
there
came in late to the game. I didn't grow up watching wrestling the way you guys did. I came in late to the game, so I came in when Mick Foley was with his beef with Triple H, and those two have always been my top 2 ever. You know what I mean? That's when it like. The first time you see something, like, holy, that's it. You know what I mean? I'm going to love these guys forever. That's wild.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Mick Foley, man. So we share that in common, Cactus Jack.
Yeah, Cactus Jack forever. Foley is probably my all-time favorite, like forever. But yeah, I was a big Attitude Era guy. Like I was big, I was a young teen when that was all going on. So, DX and, telling everybody to suck it every chance I got. And
I still drop that chop. I'd be at the beach with my wife. She'd be in the water, and I'll just be standing there, and I'd be like, chop.
When I got the chance, I would watch ECW because where I grew up, ECW would be on like one channel at like 3 a.m. maybe a month if you happen to catch the one random day they would play it. So you had no idea what was happening in between shows because it was always a random ass show that would pop on. But you better believe I would stay up every night hoping to watch some ECW because that was. And then, when they started doing pay-per-views and stuff like that, that was it. My aunt had a black box, so I'd always get illegal pay-per-views.
I had the same,
Yep, you had
to.
Same,
yeah, for sure.
Yep, my uncle was a boxing fan, so we had it for it was always wrestling.
Back in the day when you could fuck the system, say suck it to the man, and get yourself a black box by the mafia.
That was exactly it. Yeah, my mom was always too proud to have one of those, but we would always just literally travel downstairs because we lived in a 2-family, and we'd just go to my aunt's and watch it because she had one.
Yeah, my dad didn't want to get it because he was too religious, but our friends across the street had it, so I was always over there. Once I started watching wrestling, I was like, oh shit, I was over there all the time.
Yep, and that was really it. And then you fall in love, and then here we are. 25 years later, and I'm loving every second of it. You know what I mean? Like, I live in Buffalo because I met my girlfriend at the first XPW Theater of Brutality in Rochester. I was going up there to finally meet Will for the first time and Rob Black and get introduced to everybody. Because I was like, this is like, you know what I mean? They were literally like welcoming me into everything. And my girlfriend was just a deathmatch fan, and we knew each other from Instagram, and we met that night. And like, there's literally a picture I posted the other day on her birthday of us meeting for the first time. And then a month later, we're both at GCW in Jersey, and I was like, okay, this is silly. Then we start talking, and 2.5 years later, here we are. And she comes with me when she can. We both have shoot jobs and stuff like that. But it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. Crazy ups and downs all the time. Like it's probably the most emotional I've ever been in my entire life. Like doing something, with such passion, I guess you would say. But like,
because we're coming old, man. Because you're like near that midlife, you know what I mean? So you're like looking back, but you don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish
I get it. I'd be going through that. Be getting old too, man.
I wish I'd spoken harder when I was younger, but I'm glad I'm doing it now because I think mentally, I'm able to handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Totally.
I'd probably be like dead in a gutter somewhere. But yeah, I mean, knock on wood, I have no long-term physical ailments. Like, I'm sure I have brain damage to some extent, but I always played sports anyways when I was growing up. Like I did a lot of martial arts, and I played. My dad was a football coach when I was growing up, so I had to play football. You know what I mean? So I always had contacts in my life and stuff like that, which is probably not good either. It's probably why I have so much brain damage. But other than that, I mean,
you don't sound punchy to me, so not too much
so
brain
far,
damage.
So far, I can remember most dates that are important, and I can wipe my own ass for the most part. You
There you
know,
go.
doing pretty good. I
And if you
think.
can't, you can at least throw a water hose up there
Yeah,
and wipe and hose it down.
exactly. No, I mean, so overall, I'm loving every second of this. Like, I never in a million years would I thought I would be down in Houston wrestling for, you know, promotion that I'm a big fan of in front of, people who are like diehard fans, who came out to see me in a different state. That's crazy. That's always crazy. And people are like, yo, I came out to see you. And it's like 4 states away. It's like, that's dope. That's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something's clicking here. Yeah, that's all of this,
Yeah, I was
man.
thinking of some of those dates that we saw was listing off coming up, and I'm like, I got some things coming up, but I might be able to just squeeze something in.
Well, let's go. October 18th, I'll be in Memphis. That's
Okay, October 18th.
18th. Yeah, that's me and Mickey Knuckles, round 2. So you already know.
Where's that at?
Literally this band called Mud Show. They're like a team band. They did one show a couple months ago, and the main was like AJ Gray and Tremont. And it's just a no-ring show that they put on to like, and they have, they play and a couple other bands play. So it's like, death metal and death matches.
So are these like at a bar or something like that? Because here's the deal: like sometimes I watch some of your videos or some of the other hardcore, and it'll be like in a field or something. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm flying in from Orlando, Florida, as a fucking tourist as fuck motherfucker that I am, and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get to this fucking cornfield? You know what I mean?
Sometimes it is.
I'm Puerto Rican. Sometimes these white people ain't that friendly to us. You know what I mean?
No, though a lot of the no-ring shows are in bars, though. It's crazy. It feels like when I was a kid and you'd watch like that crazy like neo-futuristic movie, and there was always that band playing behind the fence and like they're throwing shit, and then there's like the brawls happening in the little pit. That's what that feels like. It feels like you're doing something super illegal.
Okay, but when you were wrestling Mickey, that wasn't anywhere. That was in a field.
No,
if I want to see Mickey, I see like she was only wrestling in fields.
That was
How do I go see her?
Our arena, so it's outside, but the ring is there, and they have they've been there for Jesus like 15 years. That's where they started out when they were kids, and it just turned crazy thing.
It just seems like a lot of the outdoor hardcore matches.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get there? They just seem like they're in the middle of nowhere.
A lot of times you literally have the booker would be like DM me for the address, because a lot of it's like secret stuff. In New York
That's
State.
what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be part of the secret club. I want to travel and go see these things. I met a woman in Houston at the Shoko show. In the back of her shirt said, "Death match is acid," and she said that she uses death match wrestling, and she uses it like traveling, following the circus for her.
Whoa!
She does like antique shopping,
like a jam band.
Yeah, she does like antique shopping with her husband. So then she follows these random hardcore death matches because they're always in random places. And then that takes her to go to like people's random farms where she can go and ask them, hey, can I search through your stuff real quick? And I said, that's what I want to do. I don't want to search through people's shit, but I want a reason to travel to random fucking places.
It's it gets pretty insane. Like I've literally fought in like a burger joint. The entranceway was coming through the kitchen, like it had like those like double doors that do like it was the craziest thing. I loved it. A lot of time during the summertime, a lot of it is outside. A lot of people tend to try to have as much outside as they can in the summertime, so literally it's like in the middle of a field. A lot of the X-Brand shows that I do, like there's this place called The Shelter, and it's literally this guy owns land, like his house, you drive up to it and it's a suburban neighborhood. And then you walk maybe a quarter of a mile back behind his house, and there's a beautiful looking ring, and there's a full entranceway and a barbecue grill, and a whole back area.
So we could do death matches in my house here.
We could do it at your house.
We could totally do death match. I have an acre here, an acre and a quarter here. We could set the match ring all the way in the back. I got plenty of space for parking. And we could do this here. That would be wild. Oh my God.
This is how shows start too.
But it's not out of my mind. You know what I mean? It's not totally something that I'm totally against, Weasel. So we can make that happen.
You can
get a porta potty for the people. Huh?
Think about it. You guys have this going, right? If this presents, and then you put on the whole show. Like
there we go.
Hope we get people. You guys know.
Listen,
people.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but if someone that does wants to talk to me about putting up a death match in my yard, I would totally consider that big time.
We're gonna wait till like December or January.
My neighbor back in the day used to have hundreds of chickens, and he used to do cockfights in the back.
Well, combine the two.
Boricua, baby, that's his Puerto
Combined
Rican.
it too. Combined it too.
Combined
Yeah,
it
no,
too.
them cocks have them razor blades on their feet, anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
I thought about it before. Totally could do this.
you could
Shout out to whoever wants
literally
to put up a local show.
100%. Like we just the show I'm doing in Portland. This is how it started. Like the dude who's actually putting on the show, the guy who's booking the show and promoting it, he just did a tabletop board game, and it's wrestling game, and he did like a offshoot of the wrestling game for deathmatch. So he added me in the game, and we were talking one day, and I was like, "Yo, it'd be super cool if you put on a show to coincide with this board game." And he's like, "I'm in Portland. We don't have deathmatch out here. That would be dope." And it turned into this show that's in Portland now. That's like literally that's how it starts. Like it just like,
Damn.
hey, what if? And then like somebody will like ask somebody something. They'll be like, okay, now I have a ring, sweet. And then everything just kind of fell into place. Like he found a referee that had a ring, lighting, sound system. He got custom aprons made. Like he came like fully equipped and everything like that. So it turned into a show in like a week.
Damn.
And that's exactly how it starts. And I love stuff like that because that's how you get a scene popping up. So you do one decent show, and then you have a follow-up show, and then now you have a scene going. Now you have regulars starting to come, and you know what I mean? Like that's that stuff I like. That's why I like doing that no ring stuff because that's how a lot of it pops up. You know what I mean? They'll be like, "Hey, here's these 3 awesome bands, and in between each band, we're gonna have some crazy motherfuckers beat the hell out of each other."
Yeah, for sure.
And it works. It
Dude,
works all the time.
I've been here long enough, man. I could easily get 100 people that I know just to come out for the party of it.
What I'm saying, listen, $15 a pop, boom.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't even, you know what I mean? You don't have to.
No, we're not gonna start.
Yeah,
I'm about to tell my neighbor or something. She got a huge yard. She could budget, you know.
She can work the parking.
All it takes is someone to be, hey, what if I tried to do this? And then boom, it's like, hey, now you know a guy. Now you know a guy who knows a guy. And it's like, oh, I know a guy who does a thing, and I know a guy who does another thing, and now you have a whole crew. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how it goes. And then you be friends with these people as you like pop up in all these different places. And then like if you need somebody, you're like, hey, I know a guy, and you call that guy up, and he's like willing to travel. So now you have another guy. You know what I mean?
6 degrees of bacon. Everybody knows Kevin Bacon by 6 people.
Exactly. 6 degrees of death match.
6 degrees of death match.
Building bridges. That's what I'm about. I hate drama and I hate that nonsense. You know what I mean? There's always something somewhere, but I'm all about building bridges and making friendships in this business. And even if let's say I have 1 year left, you know what I mean? I'll be happy with it. You know what I mean? I think I at least approached it the right way, and I wasn't trying to be cutthroat and outdo everybody. I was trying to, you know, make sure my homies were good as I was also, you know, doing cool stuff. Just like this, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and now we're, you know, doing a podcast together, and now, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I love about this. No matter what happens, I've at least made crazy friends all over the entire world. Like, legitimately, like I'm
glad to be one of your crazy friends, man.
Yo, same. Thank you very much, boys. I'm happy to be a part of this.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.
Always, seriously. I enjoy doing podcasts very much. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy blabbing for no reason. I'd like to think I'm not normally like that in real life, so I feel like
I just like looking at myself in the camera out of it for an hour.
Who can blame you? Who can blame you?
What's the coolest shit you made as weapon wise?
Oh man. So I'm really upset about it. And I was trying to bring it to Philly last weekend, and I had it made, and it made it the entire. So Will, my manager, Will, he lives about an hour and 20 minutes from me, right? So I have this car full of weapons, makes it all the way to his place, right? And I'm bringing it into his apartment. I'm showing him. I was able to take one end off of a light tube, like the metal end, and I filled that light tube with thumbtacks. And then I was able to close that end back up. So this light tube weighed about 10 pounds, but it was literally just like filled with thumbtacks, and it was getting insane. And I had like a double move prepared for it. And this thing literally touched his couch and exploded. Covered the entire apartment in thumbtacks.
Oh man.
So that was probably the most sad. But I have something sitting at my mom's house in my hometown right now that I've been planning on using forever. And it's just so big that it's hard to transport. So it's a normal sized door, and I made rows. So it's a row of light tubes, and then a row of cut cans, and then a row of gusset plates, and then a row of light tubes, and then a row of cut cans, and then a row of gusset plates.
Oh,
And then I
the
put in
cut
those,
cans.
I put poppers in those cut cans,
Ah,
and it's
cut
just been,
cans, man. That's
oh yeah. Low Life Louie hit me with a pizza, one of those pizza flipper things. I don't even know what it's called, but he had it covered in Four Loco cans, and he hit me in the back with it. That's where I have those vaginas from. He split me wide open, but I didn't even know Four Loco was still a thing, and this motherfucker whole thing made out of it. Crazy, crazy.
What's worse, getting burnt or getting cut?
Oh man, I've only been messed with fire maybe a couple times in matches. Nathan Mowry hit me with a flaming knee once, and maybe someone else, but I gotta imagine being set on fire sucks. Like I saw, the aftermath of North Korean assassin, and like I normally with my cuts I'm good. Like I can handle probably any cut at this point. Like I have 5-inch scars on my back, and I have scars that literally go across my entire chest. Like, so I can probably handle any actual like flesh wound, but burning, that lingering that comes with burning, you know what I mean? That's what gets you. Like initially, it doesn't even hurt because your nerves are already dead, but that next day when you like take a shower, I can't even imagine what he must
he
have.
was. He spent like 3 weeks in the hospital.
He, I mean, he literally has lizard skin. Like it looks like lizard skin.
Yeah, I remember seeing it right after the show. Still, you know what I mean? It was
Oh,
his first show, Mac. First match back with you that time, and I
yeah,
remember seeing him outside. I have video there, but I haven't posted it because I don't want to.
yeah,
Don't
but
want
even
anyone to
like
see that. I wouldn't disrespect that, but you can see it. And it was purple, and it was it's skin graft is what it is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Anybody you could look it up. It was a skin graft. So,
yeah, it was.
and that's the thing to come back that soon. You know what I mean? If said they told him not to come back for anywhere to 6 months, like your skin just connected. You
He,
know what I mean?
yeah, it was. I'm still blown away that he was even in the ring, let alone beating.
Yeah.
Like it
The
was.
man has been very busy, you know what I mean? But when he's
Yeah,
ready and he's
he has
got the
that.
time, he said he was gonna give us a time of night here, some time here to
Yeah.
tell his story because that was crazy.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine that tale. Oh my goodness! Like here I am talking about my tiny little flesh wounds, and this man was.
But I mean, I can't wait. But I just assumed that it just didn't go as planned. You know what I mean?
So
The horrible accident.
the clothing that is worn, by the North Korean assassin is made in a North Korean factory. So I can't imagine the quality is the best, let alone flame
Yeah.
retardant.
Yeah, it doesn't have the California standard of flame
Correct. That's
retardancy.
what I'm saying. So it's one of those things, got to be prepared.
An amazing individual, you know what I mean? That survived it and everything. I can't wait to get him on here to
I
tell
have
us his story.
nothing but respect for that man. That's absolutely crazy. But yes, my
Absolutely.
being burned is probably worse because I like I said, I can't even imagine. Like I can deal with cuts and bruises and this and that all day, but oh my goodness. Like I did a promo for that match where I actually I threw fire. I set my hand on fire and literally threw a fireball. And you don't see it, but my girlfriend's filming it and she cut it real quick because I'm literally just on fire. And the next day I was the biggest baby in the entire world. I was just like, oh my God. Like you couldn't even see anything on my hand, you know what I mean? It was just scorched a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that really put it in perspective. I was like, well, damn, all right. I think I might get murdered in this match because that man was back after that, and I was just whining about my tiny little hand.
So, obviously, nothing that we say here is going to make that much of a difference, but do you think that fire should be banned from hardcore shows then?
No, I think people should be prepared. You know what I mean? I think if you have even an option of fire on a show, there should be someone who's just the fire extinguisher guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one person's only job. You don't have that guy running around doing anything else. He's in that corner with the fire extinguisher. That's it. So I think that's the thing. Honestly, I don't think anything should be banned from deathmatch or hardcore wrestling. I think if you're going to have something, you should prepare accordingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a man can nail gun his nuts safely at the gathering of the Juggalos and not get a staph infection and die. I think it's possible.
This guy fucking gets it. It's in America, baby. We do what we want.
At this point in time, who am I to say? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be the guy who all of a sudden becomes Mr. Safety. I say that obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I'm safe and sound. Here I am, you know, alive. But like, I do insane things.
Yeah.
But you know. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm always down to push the envelope. That's why I'm always making something insane. Like, I genuinely want to push the envelope. I want to be the guy who's like, oh, here comes that crazy motherfucker who does the crazy motherfucker shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's as much as I want to be the good guy in the company or in the business, I want to be the guy who's also known as the guy who does fucking bonkers shit. And that's really one of my main things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting any younger, so let's fucking go for broke. You know what I mean? Like,
Balls to the
respect
walls
that
for now.
100%, dude.
exactly. Like, I'm literally not here for my health. So let's go. They're not called life matches.
Yeah.
I got that from my boy Kevin. That's from my boy Kevin back in Amsterdam, New York. He came up with that many years ago.
Damn, that's crazy too, though. Having to one up yourself every single time, man, and start
That's-
walking a tightrope.
Every once in a while, I'll do like a repeat of something, you know what I mean? But I'll make it like slightly bigger and better, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when I first started making weapons, I did like thumbtack bats, but now I'll do like push pin bats, you know what I mean? And like just that one up, or like, you know, like I've done shark teeth bat, but then I did a shark tooth bat that also had safety pins on it, you know, like something like that. You know, I just got to tweak it just a little bit more. So someone's like, it was already fucking crazy, and you had to make it like batshit crazy. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I do, because I'm not gonna go backwards. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna take it easier all of a sudden. I know it doesn't make sense to me to backtrack myself. If I'm doing this, I'm you know what I mean? Like, I'm going this way. I'm not, you know, I'm not petering down yet. I still have titles to win, and I have, you know, I have companies to work for, and you know, so I'm still establishing myself, I guess, to an extent. You know what I mean? I like to think people know, but more people need to know.
Yep. Anyone out there you haven't
More
faced that you
people
want
do.
to get in the ring with?
Oh man, honestly, Necro Butcher would be super cool. I could very much see myself taking an awful beating from Necro Butcher, but it would be an honor. I mean, honestly, anyone going right now, it's hot. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at anyone who does deathmatch at the moment, there isn't a bad face in the group. There's a lot of new faces that I'm super hype about. Like, a lot of people up in the Northeast who I grew up, you know, in the deathmatch scene with, and now they're making their mark too. So it's cool to see that, and I'm just hyped to be here, man. Literally, like, I'm literally just happy to be a part of it. So like, whoever they give me at this point is gonna be my next best match, because I'm just gonna keep going for broke, and it seems to be paying off. And as long as I can keep standing up, I'm gonna keep doing it, because I'm having the time of my life. You know,
Yeah, you're all over the place too.
we're trying, man. We're trying. I'd like to think, you know, at least my good reputation seems to be paying off nicely, which is it's good. Like I said, I'm not trying to be the douchebag in the business, so I'd like to think that my combination of insane plus, hey, let me help you out behind the scenes, really comes into play. That's really what I like. I like to do my part, and then I like to, you know, take people apart. I'm all about catchphrases too, if you couldn't tell. I should have went into marketing. I always said I should have went. Oddly enough, I have an art degree. That's
Oh no shit.
yeah. I as you can see, I'm putting it to good use. I have a degree in special effects. So it's but I've been all over the place in my life. I was a tattoo artist for a little while.
I see that.
That was fun. It was probably the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done, more so than wrestling.
I
Like,
could totally believe that 100%. I'm always like, man, these tattoo artists, like, I have a shit ton, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And like, just it's just gotta
one
be so nerve wracking, like being like a nurse or something, or a
exactly it.
doctor or something. You
One
know,
mess
like
entire
in a
reputation.
different way, but shit.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I was a house painter for a long time. I used to be a server for a long while. Like, I've been all over the place. I've done the most shitty jobs ever, and I've done some You know, I at one point I was like the lumber guy at Lowe's, but I also would like get all the light tubes and stuff like that because people would donate them. And I also worked in the gusset department, oddly enough. So like, it was like a weird like circumstantial thing every now and again that would like benefit deathmatch wrestling. You know what I mean? I would just like
Yeah.
bio weapons and stuff like that. And yeah, it's life is crazy, and it just keeps like bringing me back to here. So I was like, let's roll with it, and we're rolling.
You're rolling.
That's awesome. That's good for you, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about one of them places. You got a DM for the address, man. December 13th, Connecticut, Elm City Hardcore presents what? Strictly for the Underground. You and JB Anderson.
JB.
Yeah, because they have to DM me. It's gonna be crazy then, right? So you got a DM for the address.
Yeah. So that's the Connecticut scene is fairly new. Elm City Hardcore has been running the like the deathmatch scene for that. He usually works hand in hand with another company called TF Crew out there. But they do like the last couple shows that we had were at a brewery, which was dope. And they do a lot of like metal fest there. So the first one was literally at the Connecticut Death Metal Festival. So that was like we would have matches in between bands. Like one of the bands shot the music video during like the death matches and stuff like that. And this next one, me and JB. JB is I've known JB for a few years now. JB is my boy. He's a great dude, and I'm super excited to have a match with him. Like we are, I'd say both relatively new to deathmatch. You know what I mean, compared to a lot of other people. So it's really kind of one of those showcases for like newer people, which is going to be dope. He does some crazy stuff though. He brings a samurai sword to the match now. So I'm gonna have to think of something that is like relatively more deadly than a samurai sword to use against him. It's like, you know what I mean? Like this is what I ponder when I like, okay, what can I almost kill this man with? And he's a friend of mine, so it's like, what can I almost kill him with and not feel the worst about? You know. But yeah, he's he's another vegan deathmatch wrestler, which is very cool. He literally comes out to a song I used to come out to back in the day, which is dope. So like we have a lot in common, and we have pretty similar styles too, which is kind of dope. So it'll be cool to see what happens. I'm excited to do work for Elm City again. He's a really cool dude. He reminds me a lot of like Jaime and Justin Valencia from X Brand and stuff like that. He's got a good head on his shoulders for the business.
That's
So
cool.
it's one of those teams that's just now popping off. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to be part of the pop off. I've had 2 matches. First one I fought Kamikaze, which was crazy. That went bonkers. And then the second time I fought Doc Holliday, and all of his deathmatch weapons had candy all over it, and that hurt twice as bad as everything else for some reason. Like Starbursts are no joke when you get hit in the head with them. So, like he threw down like candy corn for like thumbtacks and stuff. It was and then I hit light
I've
tubes.
seen that before where people throw like Legos and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yo, Lego, no joke. They
Oh, for
suck
sure.
hard. Oh my god, like that
I've
is.
stepped on Legos before. That shit hurts like a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah. Now imagine like
Legos. Weasel's
Oh, yeah.
son is a huge Lego fan.
I know. That's what I'm saying because I've stepped on him in his room.
yeah, that's Data uses Legos. That's like one of his signatures.
I could just imagine you walking into that room.
Oh, that bitches hurt, bro. Especially like the square block one on its edge. That shit hurts like a bitch, man.
Yeah, that takes everything in your being to not swear every swear word.
Absolutely.
Your children. Yeah.
Outside of Canada, you looking to get out of the country?
Oh
Anywhere
man.
else?
So I mean, obviously, Japan is always on the radar. Always. That's the end all for someone, especially in deathmatch. But Australia, I would love to be in. I would love to fight Joel Bateman in Australia. That would be dope as hell, I think. And then the UK, I really want to get over to the UK because they're doing crazy shit over there right now.
Yeah.
And those are my boys. Whenever the UK boys come over here, we have a lot of fun. So it'll be cool to head over there at some point. And I got a passport and everything like that. So we're just I wait for the invites. I don't bother people ever. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy to be like, hey, can I be on that show?
Yeah.
That's I would like to be asked. That is, I feel like there's more to that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, as soon as I get that invite, though, that's 100% a thing in any of those countries. Honestly, though, anywhere. Like if something cool is happening, I'm there. I would love to be everywhere. You know what I mean? I love to go to the same places that I always go to. It's nice to see the same people all the time, especially when you do something that you love. Like it's cool to walk into a building and like say what's up to like 50 people immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's always nice to have that change of scenery. So like Portland's gonna be sick. I've never been to Portland before. That was my first time in Houston when I was down for Loco, so that was sick. I mean, being on the road is not like glamorous or anything. So you see a lot of like the same 20 gas stations and stuff like that. So when you actually go to like a place like that, I like to maybe go like the day before so I can actually like do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's getting to be cool like that where I can like take an extra day and stuff like that and actually see like the sights. But I mean, anywhere, man. Like I'm hungry and I want to keep going. It's hard to not go all the time because it's very addicting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a crazy feeling. There's nothing I could really compare it to. Like, I mean, the only thing I can think of it as, like, I don't know if anyone's ever been in bands or anything, but like I can only imagine this is what like a rock star feels like, but like more of the time, like I'm like 10 minutes there on stage for, an hour, but it's crazy no matter where I go. Like, even if it's an hour away, it's always an adventure. You know what I mean? Like, it's a day. You still have to prepare like accordingly and still pack a bag. And you know what I mean? It always feels like, I don't know. You get that cool like anticipation in your stomach.
I was just gonna say, what do you do to prep right before a match? You just get there the day of match. What is your routine?
I like to meet up with whoever I'm fighting. I'm usually making weapons. That usually is like a calming thing for me. I can at least focus on something. If someone's like talking to me, over the match with me, I'm usually making a weapon at the same time because I can do this and listen. You know what I mean? And kind of makes the tism be okay. Um, I mean, nothing really. Like I don't get like the jitters or anything like that. I like to just go in, and once you get going, there's like you're good. You know what I mean? Like maybe like when you walk out, sometimes the crowd is overwhelming, and it almost feels like you want to shit your pants and cry at the same time. But that's that hype drug. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what you're there for. So I like to just be in the moment. Like that's my jam. Yeah, I don't have like a routine or nothing. I don't have like special socks or like nasty ass on that. I'm probably one of the cleaner motherfuckers in the locker room. Like my bag smells great always. My girlfriend works at Lush, which is
Okay.
amazing, smelling everything.
What do you eat before a match like that?
I'm not trying to eat at all before a match.
No.
Oh, there's always a fear in my brain of having to take a shit in a match and it actually happens. We're good. We're good. I'll shit my brains out and eat afterwards.
I
Like,
respect that. I'm always so scared of shitting myself somewhere too.
oh, someone hits you wrong in the stomach or something like that. Boop, that's it.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, we gotta finish the match. Okay, now I have shit in my leg. Great. As the guy who shit his pants in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do all that. No, thank you. I like to even on the road. Like everyone's like, "Wow, you never eat." It's like I eat just when my body needs me to eat. Like it already knows that I'm good right now. Like you know what I mean? Like
I hate having to eat. I was just talking to this to my wife the other day. I hate that my body requires sustenance. That I have to
what a
stop
flawed
what I'm
design.
fucking doing to put this bullshit in it that is just gonna come out from one end to eat. You know what I mean? Like, why do I gotta stop my party to eat this fucking food? But if I don't eat it, I'm gonna pass the fuck out. You know what I mean?
We need a whole new design plan here.
Yeah, the aliens, the Greys, right? I think they got it going on. They don't
Yeah,
seem like they eat nothing.
seriously. Like yeah, it's weird. Like, but there will be certain days where like I'll eat all day. You know what I mean? So it really depends on the situation, I guess. Like I don't have like a certain thing I do ever. Once in a while, like I'll put on like the same shirt after a match. Like I'll put on like a big T-shirt so I don't bleed all over the hotel room like sheets and shit. Like that's really it. Like I have a shirt that says "Never Better" and it's a skeleton, so it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? You see me all bad, take pictures. I'm just like funny shirt, but that's it. Smoke a blunt,
Yeah.
chill out. That's
Yeah. Come down from that.
yeah.
That
That's
adrenaline rush.
usually I fall asleep sitting up in the hotel room anyway. Like it's the crash is hard. The crash is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no high to low like that I've ever felt. It's absolutely insane. That's, I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's
Yeah,
what
like,
Ric Flair talks about in a lot of his documentaries, like that from there the crash. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going home alone. I mean, you're respectful, but I just finished watching a 30 for 30 by Ric Flair.
hmm
And
no,
he was like, you know what I mean? When you got that show, you're still high and everything. What do you do?
no, I like that. Honestly, after a match, I'm pretty chill. Like if I go back to a hotel
But
room,
they
like
have weed now, but back in the day for Ric Flair, they didn't have that.
he would, he would probably drink a 30 rack, and I think I saw that same one. Like they'll drink all night, and then they'll go to the gym at 4 in the morning. It's like
Yeah.
that's why they get burned out. See, I love sleep. I love.
You did
I
say you were a sleepy boy.
Oh man, if I don't recharge the batteries, it's rough. It's rough. Especially now, like, like I said, I'm 40, so like my knees are, achy when it rains, and my hands hurt sometimes, and so like, after a match I'll be like, oh, I'm sore. So I'll literally like climb into the hotel room bed and I'll put on like Mighty Ducks 2 and I'll fall asleep within 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Like it's not, it is what it is. I'm not, I don't go out and like, party hard or anything like that. It's very, I'll crash on a couch and let everyone else party. That's fine.
Yeah, I
Party
agree
all
with
around
that
you.
100%, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll sleep through everything anyway. So as long as I
Make
set,
my own party.
yeah, exactly. As long as I'm good and like everyone had fun, like we're good. We're good. I'll talk to everyone in the morning. That's
Yep.
all. Yeah.
You got anything else to promote? We got October 4th, Portland, Oregon, Pacific North Death.
Yep.
October 11th, X Brand in Williamstown, New Jersey. The
Hey.
18th in Memphis.
Yep. Uh,
25th in Canada,
yep.
and I got the December 13th in Connecticut.
Yes. There's November 2nd, there's a show coming up. I'm not sure exactly which one, but there's a show coming up. So November's filling up. And then honestly, just a lot of stuff in next year. There's a new company coming in Virginia called Rated R Wrestling. They got me facing Neil Diamond Cutter for their inaugural deathmatch title in a House of Horrors match. That's gonna be dope. And then there's gonna be a couple other scenes popping up I can't talk about just yet, but like just like we were talking about, you know what I mean? Like just random conversations have caused things to like kind of get the ball rolling. So there'll be some new things happening as the end of the year, beginning of the year goes on, which is gonna be cool to see different faces in different areas and stuff like that. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff is in the works right now, which is going to lead to a lot of cooler things coming up in the future for new and old people in the business. You know what I mean? So the future is bright for deathmatch, and I have zero worries. And man, I'm happy to be a part of this. This is the coolest thing in the entire world. Legitimate.
That's awesome.
Like I'm like, look at, I mean, three of us, three different parts of the country, right?
Yep.
Never in a million years as a kid did I think that this would be a part of my life whatsoever. You know what I mean? With my AOL disc, with my 50 free hours, and my
Yes, sir.
like, never in a million years did I think that this would be a possibility. So the fact that I even get to do this with you guys, is dream come true shit. And then I get to go from this and create memories for not just myself, but I've met people at matches who were just fans who, you know what I mean, just met me the first night that they came to see. And they're literally people I travel the country with now, you know what I mean? Like boys forever, you know what I mean? Like it's an insane universe, this wrestling thing. And I'm very lucky and I'm very fortunate. So thank you boys for having me.
Absolutely,
Thank
absolutely.
you, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And sorry
Kid,
to
you got anything for him? Just drop my shit.
No, I don't really have anything to say except that if you ever have want to come back on, promote anything, you want to send us stuff to make sure that we promote it and put it out there, man. We would love to, just
you
hit
guys.
us up.
I
Have
got
at it.
That's how I've always been, you know what I mean? Homies help homies. So
Absolutely.
Word.
sharing stuff and supporting my friends and this like that, and you guys have been nothing but good to me, so I appreciate everything, and I'd be more than happy
Thank
to
you.
do anything that you guys need.
Go ahead and get your shit in, man. Where can they find you?
Oh man, hit up no_guts_no_gory on Instagram, and that I have a lot of links to tickets for future events and my Deathmatch Worldwide page where you can get my merch. Other than that, keep your eyes out for other Total Fucking Chaos members across the Northern Hemisphere, I guess you'd say, because we're not even in the same country half the time. But besides that, give these boys a listen. Keep your eyes peeled for sick fuck shit, and thanks for supporting the scene.
Absolutely. Ginger, go
Thank
ahead.
you. That's it. Like and subscribe, Ginger Spice, wherever I'm at.
That Wrestling Dude, DODD. Appreciate it, man. Hardcore. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, man. Really appreciate it.
Boys.
Thank you, hardcore.
Yes, sir. Peace and love.